What's up, everybody? This is Fred Richani. In this interview, we chat with Karma Lebanon Project Director Dr. Layal Issa. She works with Karma Lebanon, the amazing organization that is funding medical treatment for underprivileged children with cancer and thalassemia living in Lebanon. You can donate by visiting karma-leb.org. Note, this interview was conducted prior to the recent attacks on Lebanon. We strongly encourage you to make a donation. Well, Dr. Layal Issa, MD, thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Layal is the Karma Association Executive Director. We're here to talk about this amazing organization in Lebanon, the NGO known as Karma, which helps children with chronic illnesses, especially cancer. Dr. Layal, thank you so much for the time. How's everything going?
Hi, Fred. Thank you so much for having us today. Well, we're doing good. Despite all the challenges happening in the country and in the area. We're still trying our best. We've been running a fundraising campaign since April 2024, hoping that we can at least raise the money needed to cover the fees for hospitalization of our 89 patients. Currently, Karma is running a Thalassemia project that provides comprehensive multidisciplinary care to 89 patients with transfusion-dependent thalassemia, vulnerable patients regardless of their ethnicity or their nationality. Any patients in need, we try to provide them with the support needed in order to save their lives. That is number one. And the most important thing for Karma is to improve the quality of lives of these patients, because we care about raising them, accompanying them until they become productive adults. We don't want them to be unable to be independent, unable to work, unable to go to college. We want them to be fully independent and functional in order to be available to support the community which stood by them and supported them when they were in need.
That's amazing. What came first for you? Was it going into the medical field or was it philanthropy? And how did you eventually get involved with Karma?
I started by getting into the medical field. Then when I was studying pediatrics, hematology and oncology in one of the patients, I met Mariam at one of the hospitals during one of her visits to the cancer patients who she was overseeing their treatment and trying to support them with the cost of their treatment. So with time, me and Myriam, we became acquaintances. Then she told me that they want to start Karma in Lebanon. They want to legalize and try to put a framework for the work they're doing with the kids with cancer. So we started Karma. I was a board member at the beginning, then I was elected president, and then currently I'm the executive director. So this is how I was introduced to philanthropy. This was my my first experience.
That's awesome. And you mentioned Myriam. Myriam is, of course, the founder of Karma, but the name, I believe the name Myriam also held significance because that's also the name of the very first patient who was helped by Karma.
So when Mariam, the co-founder, was in Lebanon during a visit, Mariam, she used to live in Switzerland back then. She met some friends. After she left back, one of these friends, he contacted her that he has a cousin. Her name is Myriam, and she had a rare type of leukemia, and she needed bone marrow transplantation, which was a very expensive procedure back then, and the family could not afford it. So Mariam started her efforts trying to fundraise for this patient. A few months later, the money was collected, and Myriam did her bone marrow transplantation, and currently she's a 12-year-old healthy girl.
Your team specializes in chronic and severe diseases within children and adolescents, of course, cancer. Being the main one, but also another illness that I don't think a lot of people are familiar with, which is thalassemia.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you just explain that, kind of what that looks like and how prevalent it is in Lebanon and what you're all doing to kind of combat that? Because I don't think a lot of people are familiar with that particular illness.
So thalassemia is a genetic blood disorder that's common among the countries of the Mediterranean. But currently, it's important to highlight that the epidemiology has been changing because of the current migrations to different countries. So now you can find thalassemia in any country in the world, not just in the Middle East and around the Mediterranean. 2 to 3% of the Lebanese population are carriers of the thalassemia trait, which is quite a good percentage. This is why now it's mandatory in order to be able to register the marriage in Lebanon. You have to do some blood tests, which some of them are relevant to thalassemia. So patients with thalassemia, they cannot produce red blood cells. So they are in need of chronic regular blood transfusions in order to maintain a healthy life. With this comes the complications of increasing iron overload in their bodies because of the recurrent blood transfusions. So they have to take what we call iron chelation medications in order to help excrete the excess iron from their bodies to prevent the toxicity. These medications are very expensive and currently they're not available in the Lebanese market. So the patients usually struggle with providing these medications, in addition to the cost of hospitalization for the recurrent blood transfusions. And because of the familiarity of this disease and its spread in Lebanon, and the need among an intervention among the vulnerable Lebanese population with thalassemia and the refugees population present in Lebanon with thalassemia, Karma decided to take action. Actually, the project that we are currently running, it was started by Doctors Without Borders Operational Center Paris. They ran this project for 5 years in Bekaa area. And then they came to a point that they need to hand over the project to a local organization to take care of, continue caring for these patients. And after negotiations, the project was handed over to Karma since June 2023. We've been running this project. We've helped around 130 patients with thalassemia so far, and our current cohort is 89 patients with thalassemia from different backgrounds, providing them with all the care they need to lead a healthy life as much as possible.
Of course, with all the great work you're doing comes its challenges, right? Over the years, of course, the COVID, huge, right? There it was the tragic explosion. And then now kind of the threats of war kind of are rising. So, and on top of all that, inflation and extreme inflation. So how's it been in terms of being able to get resources and care to these children in the last 4 years with everything going on?
Well, it has been tough. It has not been easy, but you know what we try to do at Karma is we try to create a network for collaborations. We do what we can do. We try to collaborate with other NGOs that work with, for example, lots of NGOs, they worked with the COVID. So in case any of our patients was in need of anything, we would refer them. We collaborated with the Ministry of Public Health for the vaccination of the patients who were eligible for the COVID vaccination back then. We provided our patients with masks and hygiene kits in order to be able to protect themselves from getting COVID. So we did the basic things with instructions about COVID, how it's transmitted, how to prevent it as much as possible, what precautions they should take. And then after the explosion, it was the same that happened with everyone, the limitations of the resources, but we continued with our efforts and advocacy, and this is what we're still doing now. We're doing our best to advocate for the best of the patients, despite the whole difficult situations. Currently, the situation with everything that's happening in Palestine and the shift of the aid towards the emergency there, it also puts us in a bit of a tough situation financially. It makes it harder for us to obtain institutional funds in order to sustain the project. But we try always to do our best. There's always hope with Karma, and that's it.
You're certainly doing your best. Commend you all for that. And you talked about the resources and everything else. Obviously, Karma solicits donations, volunteers. That's all great, works with different NGOs. But in terms of resources, are there any specific resources your organization is looking at or looking to acquire? Any medical supplies, anything that everyday people can donate to besides just money and their time?
Yes, of course. Most importantly, people can donate blood. Our patients need around 160 blood units per month. And with the current absence, if you want, of the voluntary blood donation from our culture, we try our best to do awareness campaigns, blood donation campaigns, to encourage people to donate blood for these patients in order to provide a sustainable blood supply for them so that they are not late for their transfusion schedules. So, of course, people can donate blood. People can donate, if they have access to the iron chelation medications, they can donate iron chelation medications. They can donate vitamin D supplementation. They can donate some medical consumables for the patients. They can simply spread our word. They can simply share our videos because along with the fundraising campaign that we started in April, we started an awareness campaign about thalassemia, how it can be prevented, how it should be managed, what are the things that our little patients go through, what struggles and challenges their families go through. So they can always share our videos to spread the word about thalassemia, about Karma, about the needs of our patients.
In addition to thalassemia, of course, you do manage chronic illnesses, cancer care as well. Yeah, are there any forms of cancer or chronic illness that you've seen emerge just the last 4 years with COVID, with the change in like the environment, the explosion, everything else that maybe people should be aware of, families should be keeping an eye on, particularly with their children?
Not specifically. Usually leukemia is the most common type of cancer among pediatrics. It's the most common type of blood cancer among pediatric patients. Usually it's very important to keep following up with the pediatrician in case of any emerging signs of weakness, pallor, fatigue. Just these are alarming signs for patients. So just do not ignore the red flags and try to get a consultation as soon as possible. This way you can, if there is something like going on, you can find it out on time before it's too late.
If something feels weird, if something feels off, stay vigilant.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, Dr. Layal, you've been so gracious with your time. We appreciate all the work that you do, that the Karma team does. Before we let you go, we'll get you out here on a high note. For people who haven't been convinced already, why should people donate and volunteer to Karma?
Because what Karma is providing for the patients is a service that's not being provided by any other organization, and it's not the capacity of the Ministry of Public Health it's not within their capacity to oversee the treatment of all thalassemia patients in Lebanon. The other thing is usually donors, they try to stay away from chronic diseases, but these patients, our children, it's their basic right, access to health. So we try to advocate for this. These patients, they can live nearly a normal life if they are just being well followed, if they receive their transfusions on time, if they take the medications that they should take, they can lead a healthy life. People with thalassemia, they can live up to 70 years old. I have seen a 70-year-old patient with thalassemia in Italy. And that's my passion. I want my patients to live as long as possible because it's their right to have access to health. And it's my mandate as a doctor, as a physician, to try to make this possible for them.
Incredible. Well, Dr. Layal, thank you so much for your time. Before I let you go, where can we find you and Karma online, and where can we find you all next? Any upcoming events we should be on the lookout for, or any additional fundraisers or promotions?
You can check our current campaign on the website, the donation website, Sunday Hope. You can check our Facebook page, our Instagram page, where we have all the material, the awareness material. We talk about all the events that's going to happen, all our fundraising events, all the events that we have with the patients, our hospital visits. You can find everything you need on our website also. And you can always reach out to me for any further information that you need. If anyone would like to visit our unit, we have a Thalassemia unit in Ilyas Hrawi Governmental Hospital in Lebanon, and Zahle, specifically in Bika area, which is a deprived area. This is why we are running our project there. So you can reach out to Karma through our email, info@karma-lab.org, or you can visit our website, karma-lab.org, where you have all the necessary contact information there.
Amazing. Dr. Layal, thank you so much for your time, and thank you and your team for everything you do.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you.